Hey guys, in today's video, I will be covering a Q&A session that we as part of the Outriders Ambassador program were able to conduct with the developers, People Can Fly, about their game. I'm sure you're all excited about Outriders and would love to get your hands on more information regarding the game, so here it is. Regarding the future of the game, content and support, People Can Fly said this: "If the launch of the game is well received and people love the game, they as devs will think of the next steps beyond. Currently, the main focus is on release and the delivery of the most important fundamentals of Outriders. The system in place currently is prepared for adding more content in the future, however PvP is not considered for this game. Personally, I think this is probably a good idea because I don't think this game really needs a PvP experience to excel at what it's trying to deliver. So long as the PvE content, endgame, min-maxing, loot farming, incentives to playing, and other such deliverables are focused on and met. The devs are currently aware of the importance of content creators in this day and age and market, and the importance of platforms such as Twitch. They are definitely interested in taking advantage of Twitch extensions and are working on something similar to how other games do drops or interactions. However, there is a chance it will not be available on launch, and they can't give promises that it will actually even be able to make it into a working feature. They did say that seasonal events are something that they would like to do, but this will be looked at more in depth after launch reception. There is the potential for a game like this to get a lot more content, and the design process allows them to extend the game as needed as well." The devs said that it's very hard to give a solid figure in terms of how long the game is, because if you only focus on the main campaign and no side quests, it'll take a lot less time versus when you do all the side quests as well. Furthermore, difficulty levels also heavily impact how quickly you move through the game. Different people play at different speeds, and also your play session lengths play a factor in this too. PCF firmly believes that everyone will be happy with the amount of content that they will be paying for, regardless of how long you're playing personally. And with the way the game is currently designed, even if you ignore all the side quests or miss some, you can always go back and complete them at your current level. The game does not make those side quests irrelevant. And of course, this is all just from the perspective of the base game campaign, not counting the endgame content and the farming that would come as well. PCF have confirmed that there will be cross-save between like-for-like platforms such as PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. However, cross-save across different platforms is technically a lot more challenging, and it is something that they're working on, but there is a potential for it to not happen. You will have 6 character slots, so you can have 1 slot for each character, and then the last 2 slots will be as extras. Unfortunately, there will be no loadout system on launch. It was originally planned for it to be part of the game, but right now PCF are electing to just make switching between builds as easy as possible without using a loadout system. Your inventory is limited by slots per equipment piece. If you're running out of inventory space, you need to scrap items. However, the devs has said that there are enough slots available that you're not going to be doing a lot of inventory management. They experimented with an unlimited pool, but people weren't scrapping items for resources, they were hoarding instead. The crafting system of the game revolves around getting materials by collecting as well as scrapping unused gear to upgrade your items. So by having a big buffer for inventory space while not having an unlimited pool was the solution. Personally, I'm not sure how this will go because the pack rat nature in me from games like Fallout means I love holding on to everything, but I'm sure I can learn to prioritize. As long as I don't have to inventory manage after every mission, I think I'll be okay. PCF have also confirmed that everyone will have their own instance loot. They did try out a shareable loot system, but after balancing they found that individual loot per player works best. This also encourages players to try out and create their own personalized builds unique to their playstyle. The devs have said that you can 100% play this game solo if you wanted to, and that your experience of the game will still be very good. The whole world tier system allows for this exactly and is essentially your difficulty level. As a solo player with good gear and builds, you'll be able to finish the campaign. The post-campaign content is also soloable, and it will be hard but not impossible, especially reaching the last expedition. There are no hard limitations saying that you must be in a team for any of the content, allowing those people who prefer solo or group play to play accordingly. Realistically, the game is currently being created and balanced for a team of 3 as part of their goals, and there is nothing really planned for more players at the moment. Personally, I think it'll be interesting to see if down the line they decide to implement a raid into Outriders, maybe 6 people. But again, that's just personal speculation and hopes. With regards to in-game communication, the devs are going to be relying on platforms such as Steam or Discord for in-game voice chat. There is none built in, and with no plans for it to be built in either. PCF have also confirmed that the game supports a borderless windowed mode on PC, and that controllers are supported on PC as well. There will be aim assist for controller users, but not to an intrusive level. And if you don't like aim assist at all, you can disable it too. Sadly, information regarding performance for next-gen consoles is currently secret information, so I cannot share that at this moment. With regards to character creation, the game offers enough detail and options for you to make something unique for your character. However, PCF would like to express that the character creation is subjective. Some people say that their current creator is good enough currently as it is because they can customize how they want, while others are saying that it's not enough. Personally though, I'm going to be having my helmet equipped anyway because some of the designs seen in the footage is incredible not to wear the helmet as is, so this is a non-issue for me. Furthermore, the convoy truck that we see in the game is fully cosmetic. You cannot drive it. You can customize it, you can make it look however you want it to, but again, I stress this, you cannot drive it. The topic about guns, skills, and gameplay was another topic that was touched upon in the Q&A. PCF have confirmed that every gun has its own recoil pattern. There are some guns with unique patterns that depend on how you fire them. They also said that all explosive guns and projectiles have splash damage, and mods can be added to weapons to add splash damage that didn't have that previously. You can build your characters towards using a specific gun class such as shotguns or snipers using the character tree. The choice is entirely yours. Realistically, you have to think about if that gun class will work with your build or gameplay approach. The nodes in the character tree also change the way the guns behave rather than just adding raw damage. As I mentioned in my previous video, you get access to 8 skills in total, and you can pick and choose and hot swap those skills via the UI. The skills on items, however, are mods, and some of those mods are connected to the skills in the skill tree. Some mods can add additional effects, while others modify weapons in a different manner. There are some epic variants of weapons that have randomized modifications which can impact the appearance of the gun. The more unique the gun, the more the art and gunplay are connected. With regards to the cover system, PCF have said that the importance of cover entirely depends on how you mod your character. You can go for an aggressive style character that ignores cover entirely, or create one that is heavily reliant on cover. Some classes flourish with aggressive play, while others it may be wiser to utilize cover. This is something I can definitely confirm because I tried playing both aggressively and cover-based, and the game allowed both playstyles really easily. The best thing about Outriders is that you can adjust your game difficulty on the fly. You can adjust the difficulty, your build style, your playstyle, and the weapon preferences literally on the fly. The choice is yours. The game is designed to accommodate both casual and hardcore players. Let's talk about endgame content. This is a topic that we're all interested in, and PCF have said the following. The endgame content in Outriders are your expeditions. There are 14 completely new maps for these. Some are set in similar regions of the world, so there are story and lore connections, but the maps themselves for the expeditions are completely different and specifically made for them. As we saw in the footage showed in their latest broadcast about expeditions and endgame, there is a time-based completion system for these expeditions. However, PCF has said that there is no concern that the time-based rewards will limit the meta in expeditions. Creating builds and finding solutions is a really important pillar in the game, and there's definitely space for your own builds and theory crafting. They don't really want there to be a strict meta. The time-based reward system in expeditions doesn't really define everything. It's not really strict. The post-campaign content will cater to players who want to experiment with their builds for expeditions too. The devs reminded everyone in the Q&A session that there is no one true proper way to play Outriders. A build that works for me, for example, might not be as great for someone else. Experiment and pick what works best for you. To be honest, realistically, for someone who has played a lot of looter shooters, a meta will always exist. There is no roundabout way for it. People will always look for the shortest path between 2 points, start and finish. However, by making sure that the game has a lot of choices that caters to as many playstyles, they can definitely make it a better experience to not just solely focus on the meta and let people enjoy the game at their own pace. For example, Monster Hunter World allows you to use all 14 weapon types without feeling that one weapon type is 100% the better way to go and the other weapons are useless. With regards to balance, PCF have said that trying to maintain balance in the game is really complex because there are so many different ways to build a character. They are able to balance the game on the fly, and will definitely be observing the meta, buffing and nerfing as needs be. They did say that they fully intend to work with us ambassadors as well as the players to do these balance passes because they firmly believe that this is a process that requires the players' input and cannot be just a decision that they make on their own. Finally, there were some closing words from the devs themselves. Making the game has been a lot of work, stress, and loads of challenges. However, despite all of that, they are extremely proud of what they have made. Bartek, one of the devs, said that every aspect of the game production has its ups and downs, pros and cons, but it's still a worthwhile enterprise on the whole. This is something I can definitely understand and empathize with as well. As someone who's done game design at university and made a mobile game, there are ups and downs in game development regardless of how big the project is. Piotr's favorite part of working on the game was working on the skills and class trees. He enjoyed finding out how different skills would come together and work effectively. And there you have it. That was all of the information that was given to us in the Q&A session, and I'm very thankful to be able to talk to the developers directly and get this information out for you all. I hope you find this information useful. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you liked the video, leave a like, or not if you didn't. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.